What's up, YouTube? This is the Black Critique. I'm here right now just chilling. After Thanksgiving, everything's cool, everything's great, and stuff like that. So, yeah, hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Um, I saw this video, right here. The gentleman here, his name is Brandon. He has a channel called Pan-Africanism Strikes Back. I love his content. I love his honesty when it comes to tackling issues in the black community that we do have, as far as like these little cult groups, as far as like FBA, ADOS, Aboriginal group and things like that, religion, things like that nature. I commend him for what he's doing with his endeavors in Africa and things like that. The only problem I have with him, which seems to be a very big issue, is his politics. Regardless of what he says, he's a flag-waving Republican. He's a Confederate waving Republican. He defends Republicans at every turn, even though he says he's independent and he's only going to vote based upon what's good for black people. When you actually talk to him about that, it's actually false. And a lot of what he does is a lot of projection. All the things that hinder black people, as far as when it comes to the Democratic Party and things of that nature, he has that same issue, as far as like, sticking with a party that's not doing anything for you, or just falling for the things that they say they're going to do for you, but they actually don't do anything for you. So that's just a little disclaimer I just want to mention here before I do that. This is not an attack or anything like that. I'm going to be doing videos like this because as future videos you're gonna see where I've been on his channel and there's no problem, no issue, but when it's politics, that's where we run into trouble. Politics, he does not give me the floor. He gives people the floor that makes a fool of themselves, and he just poke fun at them and just poke dozens of holes in their story and things like that, and he let them shine. But anytime he's challenged and things like that, he kicks you off his channel. He doesn't let you talk. Or he interrupts you and things like that, and he just don't want to get that work. So, without further ado, let's just get into this right now. So we see here one of the lies that Brandon told was that Biden didn't put any travel restrictions in Africa. Again, Brandon's either lying, cooning for the Democrats, the Republicans as usual, or he's just completely misinformed. So I'm going to go with him being misinformed on this, because as you see right here, as early as last year, right? It says Trump administration adds 6 countries to travel ban. President Trump added Africa's biggest country, Nigeria. They're all skinning and grinning about, oh, Biden. Oh, well, you see, Biden, he didn't ban Nigeria. He didn't ban Nigeria. Thank God for that. Yeah, but your boy Trump did. Your boy Trump banned Nigeria, as well as Eritrea, Sudan, Tanzania, and other African nations, as we see here, right? So it says right here. So this is you can see right here, January 31st, 2020 of last year, right? President Trump on Friday added 6 countries to his list of nations facing stringent travel restrictions, a move that will virtually block immigration from Africa's most populous nations, Nigeria. You see here? And you can see the rest of this article right here. So he's talking about, Trump is giving you an opportunity, but banning these countries like Biden did. They're just doing what Biden's just doing what his predecessor has done. Maybe for different reasons, maybe for malicious reasons, maybe due to COVID, don't want to spread it. It's complete nonsense because he's not doing any bans on Europe. He's not doing any bans on China, but he's going to do bans in Africa. So you can see right here that Trump has banned probably more African countries than Biden. So this is a lie. Oh, I'm sorry. So this is Brandon being exposed for being uninformed again, as usual. And you can't tell him this because he's just going to get all his Republican feelings and get mad and just do a Kanye. You know how these Republicans do. You know what I'm saying? These black Republicans get all crazy and irate. So you can't even give him this type of information, right? So that's one lie already debunked that he's telling. Misinformation, or lie number 2. Here he said in this video that the reason why they're being banned is because they are not going along with the mass mandate protocol and all this other stuff. So, but we see right here, it says, this is from the World Bank News, right? It says that Nigeria scales up its COVID-19 vaccinations with new funding for vaccine purchase and development. You can see here the date, September 30th, 2021. So that's only a couple months ago. Government of Nigeria today received approval from the World Bank Board of Directors for a $400 million credit in additional financing from International Development Association to provide upfront financing for safe and effective COVID-19 vaccination acquisition deployment within the country. This will be implemented as part of the COVID-19 preparedness and response project. And you could just go along and see here and everything. So he, I don't know where he's trying to go with this, trying to say that they're being demonized for it or whatever. I don't know what his angle is, but obviously we do know that Nigeria and other African countries, they are taking the vaccine. It's American idiots, mostly stupid Republicans, that are taking. I mean, we're so privileged as a country, a vaccination that's given to us for free. We're rejecting because we're so short-sighted and idiotic. We don't want it. Where you have other people across the world that needs it and they're taking it and lining up for it. I don't know. Once again, I don't know if you guys remember when the vaccination first came out, and you had people like movie stars and all these affluent people. They were paying their doctors, right, to bribe the people to get vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? Like Kellyanne Conway and I'm sorry, not her, McCain's daughter. She was wanting to get it and was upset that why do all these other people have to get it and why not her? And other movie stars and things like that who are paying their own personal doctors to get the shot. But here we have idiotic Republicans and other conspiracy idiots are going to say, well, well, it magnetizes you, or it kills you, or it's poison, or there's nanobots, all types of crazy, stupid shit. But like I said, you can see here that Nigeria and other African countries, they are taking corrective measures, as all countries do during a pandemic or any kind of outbreak of a disease. This has been going on for ever, for hundreds of years. People quarantine themselves, and if there's a cure, people give that cure. So another quote unquote him being uninformed and misinformed again. I'm sorry, I forgot to add in some of the vaccination data for Nigeria. So you can see right here, that's the article that we just viewed, the worldbank.org article. Right here, it's another article, it's a part of it. Right here, trackervaccines.org, COVID-19 vaccine tracker. latest up. See the latest update right there, and then right here says Nigeria says total doses given 9.64 million. People fully vaccinated 3.46 million, but only 1.7% of the population is vaccinated. Now, mind you, Nigeria is one of the most populated, largest countries, especially Lagos, Nigeria, and Accra. They're huge, huge cities. They're one of the largest cities in Africa. So it may seem like, oh, wow, that's a lot of people, but not so much. But as the other article stated, they are getting vaccinated. So there's no reason, no real reason for them, United States, to be banning them when you have other nations that are way worse. So just wanted to add that little extra information there.
Licking on his fucking ice cream, and some guy's like, "Hey, Joe." He's like, "Yeah," and the guy's like, "Fuck you, Joe." Like, to me, I don't know why, but to me, that's absolutely hilarious. Like, the president getting the finger, because it's like Trump got a lot of disrespect too, but I feel like the disrespect towards Trump was like not really based on anything valid. Biden, he's earning it.
Negro what? All the criticism that Trump got was not well deserved. This is the man that said that even after the Central Park Five was exonerated, he still felt that they were guilty. This is a man that doesn't know how to address black people. He calls them my African Americans and all these other things. Sound like an old racist white man. This is the same man, right, that said he was going to drain the swamp and put bankers, investors, put all of Wall Street in his cabinet, put Rex Tillerson as Secretary of State because he worked for ExxonMobil, so you get that pipeline, right? And at the moment he got that pipeline, he was out of there, right? This is the same guy that have Goldman Sachs people in his administration as Treasury Secretary. It's like, are you serious? And the list goes on. This is the guy that says when he met Kim Jong-il, he says like they fell in love. He admires the guy. He loves how they all stand at attention when Kim Jong-il comes. He said he wants America to be that way. This is the same guy that says he likes what Duterte is doing by killing civilians at a whim, right? This is the same guy that's friends with Putin. Like, and the list goes on and on. What the fuck is he talking about? Trump did things that's not really that, that's not well deserved. Like, this is why I'm saying, this is the part why I'm saying he's cooning. Because there's no way you're listening to politics and that just goes over your head. Unless you just listen to Fox News and Breitbart and all these right-wing publications and news outlets. There's no way you're not going to know that. This is ridiculous. Like, what person says that with a straight face in this day and age? Like, yo, this is crazy.
Biden is freaking earned.
So here we go. Back to this. So he's saying that Joe Biden, his approval rating is in the single digits. That's not right. One. Two, he's saying that I mean, wow, I don't know where to begin with this. It's just a total mess what he's saying. So in his defense, he's reading this article. So this article is misleading, but Brandon just read this one article and he just ran with it, right? So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to provide proper political consensus on what's going on, right? So this is what we're going to do here. So right here, I have something right here saying based on Biden's approval rating underwater in every single battleground state. So I think what that article Brandon was alluding to was basically the breakdown of what it is, and you'll see it right here. So basically, right here you have Fortune. That's the site, politics. So this is a business site. Website says the polling is pretty clear. President Joe Biden honeymoon is over as of Wednesday. His, see right here, approval rating stands at just 42.9%, according to 538, down from 53% when he entered the White House in January. Among post-World War II presidents, only Donald Trump had a worse approval rating of 38.4 at this point in his presidency. All right? So, but what's more concerning for the Democrats is the top line figure, state data. Okay, so this is where I think that post is trying to allude to. It says, when you zoom in on battleground states, things look even worse for the White House. In the 11 states Fortune considered battleground states in 2020, Biden's approval rating is under in every single one of them. For those, he's doing the worst in Iowa, negative 11 percentage points. Ohio, negative 10 points. And Arizona, negative 9 points. Those battleground states are as followed by Wisconsin, negative 7, Pennsylvania, negative 5, Florida, negative 5, North Carolina, negative 5, Michigan, negative 4, Nevada, negative 3, Georgia, negative 3, and New Hampshire, negative 2. So, in his defense, I think I guess they're trying to say, he's trying to say, or him and the Post are trying to say that overall, Biden's rating overall is in the single digits, which is wrong. The breakdown in certain states for his approval has fallen down. Hate to burst Brandon's bubble and make him and his Republican racist buddies feel sad. But it's overall so we're going to get a consensus, right? So right now this article is saying that Biden's approval rating is 42%, right? Okay, so let's keep it pushing because we're going to get the consensus here. All right, so we go NPR. What does NPR says, right? See the date right there. Biden's approval rating is down to 42%, the lowest recorded in the survey since Biden took office. Very similar to what the other article said. Let's go here again. Let's go to U.S. Today. Right? This one says, United States says 38%. That's a little odd, right? But it's okay. We're trying to get a consensus here. And what we got to do, we got to dive into an article and see why it's saying that, how it came up, where it's getting its stats from, so on, and so forth. So it says Biden and his party. I'm sorry if you can't keep up with me. I'm a little bit of a speed reader. I took a glance at this article before. All right. Well, it says, okay, so it says nearly half of those surveyed, 46% says Biden has done a worse job. Independence, 7 points. See, there you go again by 7-1. So 7-1, basically saying 44% to 6%. So, like is he's looking at these single digits and saying that's the overall polling, which it isn't. Everything is in the double digits, right? We can see everything here is in the double digits, right? So that's USA Today, right? So I'm not sure how reliable this second site is. Oh, that's the 538 site. So basically they were referencing the other sites where they got their data from. from the first site I showed you where they did the breakdown by states here, right? You can see it. Everything is in the double digits. There's nothing here in the single digits. He's like totally misinformed, or just going with the New York Post, which is totally misinformed and just, for just burying the what the status is. This is what the consensus is. So we have right here. So it's the Washington Post. Biden rate hits new low. There we go. And this one is saying is at 41%, with 53% saying they disapprove. So it seems so far that Biden is in the low 40 percentile as far as his approval rating. Right here it says if elections were held today, 46% of adults overall would back the Republican candidate for Congress, and 43% would support the Democratic candidate. Amongst registered voters, the GOP advantage goes to 51% versus 41% for Democrats. A historically strong result for Republicans on this measure. So this is where we are right now, right? So what Brandon is giving you is basically total falsehoods and not true. So we read several articles. That's what the consensus is here, right? Right here again, it says Donald Trump had a worse approval rating of 38.4%. Right, that's the Fortune one, I believe. Yeah, that we already read. Right, so this is the consensus. All right, so we just go to Reuters. What is Reuters saying about this? See, 49% Americans approve of the president. So all this single-digit nonsense Brandon is talking about is total garbage. Once again, I'll give it to him. He's totally misinformed because he's only going based upon that New York Post article. I don't know if he did that delivery, but any person looking at politics doesn't just basically go with one article and just run with it. But like I said, he's not that good of a political commentator. It seems like he just posts what he likes. That suits his political palette at this point. So here he is, continuing, basically giving his own critique based upon the article, but it's also his own personal Republican opinions. That's not, is just pretty much one-sided. It doesn't look at the overall picture, but he said a lot of other things I'm just going to ignore because it'll just be forever. So let's just see what he says here.
And it usually happens when you cut the supply chain like what Biden did. As spectators get...
That's another lie. Biden did not cut the supply chain. Biden's been in office not even a year. The supply chain has been cut. I work in supply chain. The supply chain has been cut due to COVID-19 and business being shut down because of COVID-19, 1. 2, because of the tariffs that Trump was putting on that made the situation even worse. Him fighting the tariffs over China. And that drove the market crazy. People were holding on certain supplies and items for other companies, other people. So people were hoarding things. So things in supply chain were weighing very thin. So once again, he's just showing his Republican ass, and he's just not really being honest. Or once again, he's just horrifically misinformed.
The thumbs up and applauded. One person appeared to be wearing a dinosaur costume. A couple of people wore turkey hats, according to a poll report. Biden and First Lady Jill exchanged niceties with sailors at the station before returning to their vacation home, which is owned by billionaire David Rubenstein. So all these liberal bastards praising the freaking dictator Biden,
So because they voted for Biden, they're liberal bastards. So let's see this here. You're a Republican. What have Republicans done overall, let's say in the last 20 years? What good have they served for the American people? Anything but fear mongering. Everything they did from Obama to now. So, no, I'm sorry. From George Bush Sr. to now, all they did is fear monger. The others, the terrorists, the this, the that. Everything they're doing is to put fear in your heart. Why? So they can supply the war economy. So they can make sure that businesses have money and things like that, right? To keep up, to demonize black people as far as being criminals, us not getting jobs, criminal justice system, things like that. Those are what the liberals are supposed to be fighting for. And as far as like everyday people that consider themselves liberals, they're out on the line fighting for police brutality, equality. People that are marginalized. Republicans are not out there fighting for black people's rights, and he knows this. This is where I'm saying he's just straight up coon. Because you cannot show me. You can say that Democrats have done nothing, right? You can keep saying that. That is fine. That is true for the most part. Democrat has done nothing. But as far as the constituents, people who claim to be Democrats, right? Those are the people that are out there protesting injustice, right? Republicans are out there protesting, well, I have a right to carry a gun, no matter what. I have the right to use the N-word. I have the right to discriminate. That's what Republicans are doing. So I'm proud to be I'd rather be a liberal bastard than a card and then align myself with a card carrying racist like I'm some house nigga in the big house. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude is like John Coffey or he's like Mammy from Gone with the Wind, just happy to be in the house. Is it gotten that has the field gotten that bad that you gotta run to the big house to master? Like this doesn't make any sense to me. But we'll continue.
But they'll be the same people on TV. I can't even afford the kids' cereal. Shit like that. It's so funny how these people, they love celebrating these they love celebrating these uh dictator types.
Again, with the whole dictator stuff, which I already covered, Joe Biden has never befriended or give accolades and credit to a dictator. Trump has. He has done it with Duterte, he has done it with Kim Jong Il, and he has done it with Putin. All this is pure projection. It's all pure projection. All he doing is just talking straight up dog shit because you guys may be too stupid to realize. You know what? I don't think his audience is that stupid because no one really fights him on when he does his political commentary. As you'll see, people's like, okay, he just said that dumb shit. Let me talk about something that he could agree with. The whole other situation with the whole turkey thing and people not able to, the prices of turkeys up and people not able to afford food. Again, under Trump, a lot of food like last year, a lot of the food banks were overcrowded with people that wanted food, right? They wanted all these things because people were out of work. People were out of work. Times were bad. COVID hit, so a lot of people were doing food banks and all these other things. So it's only been about a year, so we're not out of the hole yet. So I'll just continue because he's hanging himself, resurrecting himself, shooting himself in the head, and he's just a freaking hot mess. But let's go.
But then when it starts hurting them, they're the first people on the internet crying. This is a group of people cheering Biden as his motorcade passed. Here's a bunch of losers cheering Biden from like what it looks to be a pier of some sort. Why you're in your underwear in Nantucket, I'm sure Biden would like that, but he tends to like him a little bit younger. He likes his approval rating resembles the women he's attracted to, single digits.
Again, pushing a single digit lie. And yes, Biden is creepy and does a lot of creepy shit around women, not good in personal space. I'm not going to fight him on that. But at the same time, his boy, his master Trump, said if his Melania wasn't his daughter, he'll fuck her. Plus, Trump fucks around with younger women. He used to judge those little Miss USA pageants, and he walked in purposely on a bunch of underage girls. So once again, everything he's doing is projection. Everything he's doing is projection. I'm calling it even. They both are fucking creeps. I can say that because I'm not aligned with the Democrat Party. I'm not cheerleading the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party doesn't make me who I am, right? So I could criticize both parties with no problem. He literally got pom poms and a fucking tennis skirt, jumping up and down with his big stupid ass, rooting for Republicans, rooting for Master in the big house. This shit is crazy. But I'll let him continue.
In age wise, the president presented Coast Guard members with challenge coins that some members of the military collect to commemorate their service. He gave them some fucking coins. I'm not joking when I say I'm thankful for these guys. I'm thankful for them and everybody. I mean, it's from the bottom of my heart. The president said of the Coast Guard members would ask what he's thankful for. Dude, this guy has the heart of C. Montgomery Burns on The Simpsons. It's probably just a fucking sweet potato in his chest that's green and molded. No heart, no beat. I've watched them in the South China Sea. I've watched them in Afghanistan. Mambo.
That's enough of that. I can't take this shit no more. This I can't take this dumb shit no more. This is beyond. This is beyond. This is some circus shit. This is some circus clown shit. This commentary. So here we go. Pretty much at the end of the video. I only try to just basically just mention things that he say that's like way off base. You know, I'm not trying to nitpick on anything like that. But this last point right here, if you follow the video the last video that he has right here, it is basically what everything goes smooth. Someone says something that he doesn't really like. He pretty much insults them. I mean, he one of the things I like about him, you know, in the beginning, which is pretty much just bullshit. He just says it, in my opinion, just to sound better than Tariq and all those other guys and stuff like that. Because, you know, Tariq will curse you out, do all those other things. But he pretty much does the same thing when he disagrees with you. So he's no different. You know, he's a little bit nicer, but he's still going to insult you. He's going to basically say, you know, to this guy right here, say he has no credibility because he voted for the Democrats. You know, like something's wrong with you. You can't have buyer's remorse or anything like that. Brandon himself told me that, hey, look, I voted for Obama. Oh, I made a mistake. Same thing with me. I voted for Obama the first time, made a mistake. Didn't vote for the first. Didn't vote him. I didn't vote for him the second time. You know. And then he's gonna tell the guy right here, like, hey, look, you voted for the Republicans. You keep voting for people who does nothing for you. Again, what has Republicans done for black people? What has Donald Trump, right? Because Trump is his boy. What has card-carrying racists that say Black Lives Matter or anybody who goes out there protesting for unarmed black men and women getting shot, calling them Black Lives Matter terrorists, or anyone who's affiliated or agrees with what Black Lives Matter is doing called terrorists? What have your Republican Party, Donald Trump, done for black people? Right? Nothing. And he better not say that stupid lame ass excuse. Well, he offered black people the platinum this bullshit. That's a campaign slogan. That's all that is. What did he offer black people in 2016? Nothing. He was just saying, hey, yeah, black people, I'll give you something. Yeah, just like everybody else says. Just like the Democrat says. And then I'm doing nothing. Right? Democrats did nothing right now. So, we're going to do something about police reform. Did nothing. Right? It's all talking points. But these Negroes are so desperate for a W. The moment someone pays them any kind of attention politically, they run that way. There's no checks or balances or hold them accountable. Okay, you said you're going to do this for us. What happened? So I'm pretty sure for the whole 4 years, Trump didn't do shit for black people. He didn't live up to any of his campaign promises, right? And he ain't got shit to say. But here we are during his campaign, right? For the last campaign that just passed, he said it again. Oh my God, this is real this time, right? But Trump didn't win. So what? So now they're all upset, saying, "Well, Biden offered nothing. Biden offered the same thing that Trump offered, right?" But now I say, "Oh, we would have got like all this money if Trump won." You're a fucking fool if you think that. You're a fucking fool, and you ain't nothing but a fiddle, and you getting played, right? So basically, let's come to the end of this video right now. I'm just letting you know the first call before this gentleman called. The guy's just giving his outlook of what he thinks was going on in Kenya. This is pretty much over my head. I'm not too involved with Kenyan politics and things of that nature, but hey, come on, give the guy a little advice, but you don't have to insult him because you assume, because he say, look, you didn't know who I voted for. You don't have to, but even if you voted for Biden, you don't have to insult him. You guys are just basically talking about business and how the political climate, is impacting Kenya. But anyway, thank you for watching. Like I said, this is not an attack video. I'm not trying to attack the brother, but I'm trying to basically give him some good advice, basically, because his political commentary is shitty and is one-sided. And I think I'm gonna be disappointed, and I hope that he's not that hardcore of a Republican, that he is fluid in his democratic decisions, right? But like I said, subscribe to his channel, support him. He's out there in Kenya and things like that. And with that said, have a good night. And yes, I will be doing more videos because yes, I still have a lot more commentary on certain matters, but you'll see in the near future. So like, share, subscribe, and I appreciate you. Thank you.